Here's a video. It's called How to Go Surf Kayaking. It's for my friends who don't know how to go surf kayaking. This is also wave 2 of interference, which is a different story from wave 1 of interference. I've heard this story where a long time ago, in a land far away from here, these famous kayakers took fiberglass slalom boats into the surf. And eventually they modified the designs so that they would surf more efficiently, could carve better turns, and more accurately emulate the performance of surfboards. Later they had tea and went on a race. And this story seems good enough to me, so let's just go with that. All I can personally attest to is my experience, which is bundled up in a box full of videotapes and slide film. Moments preserved in pictures. Scroll back a few years. October 1997, the Wind and Sea wave blast at Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I met people I would never forget at this event, and to this day some of the most important and influential people in the East Coast surf kayaking scene, as well as the development of the sport worldwide. Ryan Smith has gone on to become a successful paddle sports and outdoor sales rep, and one of my closest friends. Anthony Bell, hands down the winningest competitor on the East Coast circuit. Stowe Blankenship was the founder of Surf Kayakers Anonymous and the inspiration behind BoaterTalk.com's Surf Zone. He was the glue that held the East Coast scene together for the first few years. A really sticky glue. The kind that's able to adhere intangible objects to one another. This was my first impression of surf kayaking, and though the contest didn't mean everything, they were what sent myself and many others headfirst into this amazing sport. Soon I met Ray Cotton, Joey Hall, Clem Newbold, Philip Ashelman, Bruce and Judd Watkins, Dave Stroud, Ross Fulcher, and not Drew. Surfing at contests, out of the country on one of our trips, or at home on one of our East Coast breaks. This was our East Coast surf family.
Yeah, Joey. I did an aerial donkey flip. I did a no-hands donkey flip. I did a donkey flip while picking my nose and whistling Dixie. Nasty.
Around about 2001, in my mind this is when one of the single most significant and change-provoking things occurred. A surf kayaker named Drew Hayes from Wilmington, Delaware began importing mega surf kayaks from England. Drew seemed to sell 1 or 2 boats to every surf paddler between the Great Lakes and Florida.
Drew brought those boats in, and I don't think a lot of us would have been exposed to, would have had a chance to really try a surf kayak out if it weren't for Drew, because he brought all these boats to all these contests, and people were always borrowing them and trying them out, and he was really cool about letting everybody trying them out, sometimes to the detriment of his own business.
When composite boats came on the scene and began to replace the whitewater boats, we began to emulate the surfers more, whereas you're riding down the face of a wave and performing maneuvers on the wave, and as opposed to just getting in front of a wave and running straight in.
This infusion of true surf boats into our scene created the delineation between paddling a whitewater boat in the ocean and truly surfing waves, which made lesson number 1 obvious. Get a surf boat. This heated competition scene and events continue to go on in Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas, and as far north as New Jersey.
So we took the grand surf kayaking road trip of 2002, which was one of my favorite seasons of kayaking ever. Spencer and I loaded up his truck and we caravan with Philip Ashelman.
I bought a boat and I remember I had this GMC Savannah diesel van that blew giant plumes of smoke, and then that thing blew up. But I lived in it for a while, just traveling up and down the coast. And no matter the road, won't change a thing. Did you have to alone for planting seeds?
Started out, I think we went up to New Jersey first, and we got into our hotel, and Philip noticed that Dave Stroud was pulling up in the parking lot, and so he decided it would be a good idea to stick his out the window and moon Dave and say welcome to New Jersey.
Well, I'm gonna give Dave a little welcome to New Jersey. Hey Dave! Welcome to New Jersey!
I tell you what, these guys are gonna revolutionize this sport. And by these guys, I mean these guys right here. Oh, there he goes for the flush. Remember to flush twice, wash your hands. All employees are required to wash their hands before returning to the New Jersey Challenge.
We had a really good group of people, a core group of people that were traveling to all these contests every weekend, and we just stayed on the road the whole time and just surfed all the way down the coast and hit the contests as we went along.
The party's about to begin. Here goes. Oh! Happy New Year. Happy 200,000 miles, Spencer. Thanks. I'm a proud owner of a big pile of I'm a proud owner of a piece of crap with 200,000 miles on it. Celebrate. Let's celebrate that.
And it all kind of culminated in the 2002 National Surf Kayaking Championships, which Bruce Watkins put on in North Carolina. And that was still one of the greatest contests I've ever been to. It was just good waves and a lot of fun and really good competition. We were really starting to learn more about how to really win and how to get better at surf kayaking, and just kind of went from there. We had just a lot of good times on that whole trip.
The opportunity for a spot on the U.S. team or a shot at the national title gave us goals to shoot for. It also created friendly rivalries amongst us and a drive to improve skills. By far, though, the most valuable and lasting things that came from these competitions was the group of friends that formed and the time we spent together. Which brings about lesson number 2, get some friends. It was wave surfing that inspired us to drive up and down the eastern seaboard. Of course, we'd take every opportunity possible to surf in between contests and any side projects we could make time for as well. After the 2001 Worlds in Santa Cruz, California, and prior to the aforementioned 2002 road trip, we put our first big trip together. A group of us flew into Costa Rica and rented the 2 crappiest vehicles in Latin America, the Grand Vitara, which were predictably and quickly renamed the Grand Viagra. Certainly not due to its stamina and reliability, but more so due to our group's ability to be complete jackasses 24 hours a day.
Road's over there.
Where? We got it. Dude, we might want to check this and see. Dave's driving, oh boy.
He's not even looking. Oh shit. Dude, that's deep as
Holy shit. Holy shit, man.
Oh god. Dude, I don't want to do that. 4 low or 4 high. Dude, somebody should video this.
Video it, man. I want it, dude. Sketch all I did.
Oh, me, dude.
There were several notable memories on this trip. One, Raymond's first time paddling a surf kayak.
No, I never paddled a surf kayak before then. But I figured if Spencer could do it, I could do it. Couldn't be too difficult.
The Costa Rica trip was my first time out of the country, and it was a good group of guys, just all the surf jackasses. We got everybody together, and some other people too, and headed down there. And I was kind of the baby of the group, I guess. Raymond's a little bit younger than me, but Raymond had been out of the country before, and I never had, so it was a new experience for me, and it was really exciting. It was a little bit scary too, but we had a really good group, and it was just non-stop action the whole time.
It was about the first time I'd ever gone on a surf trip out of the country before. And a great group of guys. The waves really worked out for us the whole time. And it was kind of a whole little mini surf safari thing for us. Kind of whet my appetite for surf travel, for going places, and just the fact that that was doable. You could take your surf boat on an airplane and go rent a car and then just go travel and find surf. Kind of our little mini endless summer there.
Do we want to go here? We want to try to find another spot or what?
Let's just get out for a second. Look at it.
Let me parallel park it.
Find a hotel and then find out where the good spots
This
are.
is what we call the ocean, Ryan. The ocean.
It's good out there.
And Dave Stroud busted the first legitimate aerial any of us had seen.
He pushed his skill level to this limit that was just amazing to me. I mean, he really, for all intents and purposes, got one of the first airs in a surf kayak, I think, on that trip. I mean, there's evidence of it on video. And to do it in those old boats like that was just really impressive. He just got it. It all clicked. It was really amazing to watch. I don't think we knew at the time that it was anything maybe special, but now looking back on it, it didn't seem like there was a lot of other people doing trips like that at the time. And it definitely influenced me later, like when I went to make interference, like the things that I kind of learned and picked up from that trip as far as traveling with people really helped me a lot.
Which brings to mind,
And we learned an important lesson on that trip. And the lesson was you can't have more than like 4 people on a trip. Because we had like 8, and it was about 8 people too many.
and half of our group caught a nasty flu the locals referred to as La Gripe.
It started out one person in the group got sick. And then it jumped to the next person and the next person. Spencer got it before me and he was pretty bad off. And then when it hit me, I was just decimated by it.
What? Where are we going? Sick.
I do remember that Raymond would come and check on me every now and then. He would make me laugh so hard I would have to ask him to leave because it hurt to laugh. Luckily, soon after that, we found a doctor. She looked like she was about 17 or something, but I don't know what she gave me, but it made it a little better. I don't know, it's all kind of part of our story, and like I said, I don't think we thought it was that important at the time, but looking back on it, it's kind of cool that we did that trip on our own.
This trip taught us the fundamentals, and we have collected a book of lessons on every surf kayak trip since. Here is a chronological list of a decade of surf trips and noteworthy results that have taught us how to go surf kayaking. In 2003, Ray and I went back to Costa Rica with Clem Newbold for a shorter trip, but this time we surfed way more breaks. We learned fewer people means quicker decision making and more efficient use of time, which means you eat sooner, you get to the beach quicker, and you surf way more waves. And you probably surf better waves. Later that year, we went to Ireland for the World Championships. Lesson number 5. If you go all that way to surf, go surfing. Ride the waves, enjoy your friends, and compete if you're a competitor. World Championships come and go. 2004, we went to Nicaragua. Lesson number 3, small groups work best. Even though we broke that rule, we did stay at one spot the whole time, and we didn't have a rented vehicle to worry with. Logistically, this made things easy and relaxing.
Searching for so long you lost your ground.
In the beginning of 2005, Drew and I spent about 16 days surfing a handful of breaks up and down the coast of Ecuador. Drew wrote about a 10,000 word journal on this trip that was later published. We learned valuable lessons on this trip. Lesson number 4, never leave a great break in search of better waves. We did that and paid for it. Lesson number 19, while surfing the great waves, don't ingest the brown foamy stuff, aka village flush, floating in the break. You may get sick. That nice beet red complexion on Drew's face, that's a mix of sunburn and fever. But I'm glad I took this photo of Drew. Here's some other weird things Drew does. This is an electrocution shower. Rule number 45, electrocution showers electrocute you. Later in 2005, Ray, Ryan, Drew, and I all went back to Ecuador, which brings us to lesson number 11. If traveling around the holidays, beware of baggage embargoes. Ryan and I spent a lot of quality time in the airport instead of surf kayaking, but our boats finally did arrive with 2 days left.
It makes sense with patience, but that I don't know.
I got nice and sick again on this trip,
It's alright.
which leads us officially to lesson number 6.
Don't get sick on a trip. We learned that.
Seems pretty idealistic, but somehow Raymond has rationalized this. To his credit though, he also wrote the most sincere and heartfelt thing in our group journal. Speed bumps. Like this trip, life has so many of them. Some are paved, others temporary and made of dirt. Some you see and don't need help, others friends see and help you over. And that is lesson number 13. You can't go surf kayaking without that one.
After having been to Ecuador twice,
Drew describes 2 trips to Panama that he and Ray took over the next couple years.
kind of did our usual thing, flew in, rented the car, and just took off to some place that sounded good on the map, sounded good on the internet. It was nice and big when we got there. That wave was ridiculous. It was humongous. Both of us got absolutely clobbered, wasted, pounded, crunched, drugged for, it seemed like forever, probably a quarter mile or something by the time you come out of it. Pretty much like nothing I've ever been in.
They were reminded of lesson number 5, one of the most basic and fundamental rules that every surf kayaker should know. Without exception, it is always bigger than it looks from the beach. Sometimes this can be to your detriment. If it looks really big to you from the beach, remember this rule before you go out. Other times you may be pleasantly surprised with nice waves that appeared insignificant from the beach. You take your chances and you pay your dues. Ray and Drew learned this one in Panama.
Piece of cake.
I don't know. I'm gonna go. What you think?
Well, I wouldn't, not straight in the middle where the puddles are, but
No, but just to the side.
yeah.
Hold on. I remember this one.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
We did it.
It was bad. We did it then. I mean, look at the exit out the other side, though.
It actually looks better this time. Didn't we cream it over here on the left? We lost some undercarriage.
What?
last
Just
time.
go over those sticks? You think?
I guess pretty much what we did last time. What's over there?
What's
Is that the cow road?
Straight across.
What was that?
Straight across. A little bit of speed. How fast do you think?
Right here.
Just what she'll do from here?
Yeah.
Oh my.
Stop.
Oh, that's bad, Drew. That was D. Oh God, dude, we're so.
How bad is it?
Pretty bad. Like, I don't even know where to start. You can lose a mile on it if you're not careful.
Every trip presents its own stressful, challenging, and sometimes hilarious circumstances. These experiences distinguish that time and place and give something to talk about on the next trip. This process becomes a comfortable pastime and a cycle that never seems to end.
We dug the whole creek out. We dug all this incredible pile of sediment out, filling it up with rocks.
These guys were riding by with horses just looking. I was like, they ain't coming out.
Yeah, they were on horses. They were like,
You're on your own.
dude, see ya.
Aside from Ryan having a reoccurring issue with airlines breaking his boats, we haven't had any real trouble on our trips, despite one casualty. Drew explains how he got bitten
by, I don't know, probably about 2,000 mosquitoes walking back from a break. One of the mosquitoes that bit me apparently was one of those guys you see in the cartoon with the little red swirly things in its eyeballs. And the thing was good enough to give me a case of dengue fever to come home to. So about a week after coming home, I got to spend a week in the hospital.
Lesson number 9, D. February of 2008, I was invited to Africa with Joey Hall and Nathan Eads for 10 days of surfing in Morocco. Joey was busy shooting for his new film, Interference, and this trip provided some of the best content for the video. Lesson number 7. It can be beneficial to have at least one member of the group who speaks the local language. All but one of us communicate the French language in an embarrassingly elementary fashion. We were graced with the presence of Nathan's friend Tom Lill, who speaks fluent French. The rest of us were able to communicate in the language of donkey and other wild animals. Back home, Drew explains our next adventure.
In March of 08, Spencer gave me a call. He's been working on a surf boat project with Riot Kayaks, and I was fortunate enough to get invited to go up there with him. It was 2 weeks of intensive work working on these boats, but super, super fun. Raymond came in for a few days and helped us really kind of wrap the project up in the end. I don't think I've ever worked so hard and laughed so much in my entire life.
That summer and fall, Drew and I finally got to surf the boats that we had worked on for months. Lesson number 10. If you decide to design a surf kayak, make sure you really love this sport. All told, we have spent 9 years modifying our design, and we finally have something that works really well. Lesson number 15. You may have to come up with creative activities when there isn't any surf. Welcome to Philip's bachelor party at the Outer Banks.
Oh shit. Let's go catch some fish or waves. Or eat the captain's platter. Let's go buy some t-shirts. Wings, man. Buy a lighter with a titty on it.
What happens at 7 a.m. at Philip's bachelor party? As you can see, it's wild. Everyone is still partying.
In 2009, the Eastern Atlantic called us back to the World Championships of Surf Kayaking in Portugal.
Just in case we need this for record keeping for some reason. Today's September 18th, 2009, and Drew and I have just surfed a nice little swell down at Seagirt, New Jersey, and we're back up in Wilmington at Drew's house now, and the next time we're going to meet is in Costa Rica in November for a little surf adventure down there. So that's the next time the camera will see us together, hopefully.
It's good to have this footage because if one of us gets stolen, we'll have a record for our homeowner's insurance. So we'll be able to replace it one or the other.
In 2008 and 2009, we went back to Costa Rica for surf trips. In 2010, we visited once more to surf and to attend Raymond's wedding.
How'd that feel?
Well, for two-wheel drive, she did okay.
Can you compare your crossing to Raymond's?
Well, I think my 2-foot drive
If we made it just two-wheel drive, 4 should certainly get us back.
had far superior traction to Raymond's. No sinkage?
No, it was fine.
I think I had more sinkage than you did. Plus, I had a little shrinkage.
Oh, did you?
I'm not sure you had any shrinkage.
No, I did not.
Raymond had a lot of spray come off his.
Our big group that we had on that trip
Joey refers to our first Costa Rica trip.
has kind of split up into other groups and gone on to do other things. And some people aren't even traveling anymore, but everybody's still surf kayaking to some degree. I think that the place that I hope surf kayaking kind of goes next is not necessarily the skill level improving. Hopefully it does, but it's pretty good right now. I just hope that people go out and go on trips on their own just to experience traveling with a surf kayak. I think that's something that'll, like, a lot of people talk about pushing the sport forward. And I think that's something that not necessarily pushes the sport forward, but expands it and makes it more legitimate to go out and travel and do other things. Because I know that I love doing the competitions, and that's great, but I also equally love to take adventures with my surf kayak, you know, and I hope that more people out there do that. And I hope there's more videos that come out and more photos and stuff. So.
Ryan Smith summarizes.
Patience. Try to let the agenda go and just, you know, try and enjoy the experience wherever it takes you, because it never goes as planned. You're pretty intimate with some other guys, generally speaking, and you have to deal with everybody's fun and charming, but also scary and annoying characteristics, and you just kind of gotta let that stuff slide off your back easily. Be open to new and different experiences, and be excited for the food, and make sure you're present enough to appreciate where you are. And it always makes coming home sweeter, and always makes me thankful for what I have. The airlines always up your and the views always turn out pretty amazing, no matter where we end up. That's what I've learned. Friendships are made stronger. Appreciation for other cultures, and mainly appreciation for the blessings that we have. Get to come home to our families, and really a society that has everything they could possibly want.
So that's it. You've got all our lessons, all our secrets. To me, that's how to go surf kayaking. Thanks to co-producers Astral and Shred Ready for helping make this project possible.
Pages fill cover the floor, all covered up with ink. Words written over coffee document my struggling. Those mornings spent sitting alone, mourning alone in grief. For all are killed in search of honesty. I used to hang my head when it truth hiding behind heaven's cloud. Don't save my place of this race, I do bow out. Don't save my place of this race, I do bow.